Hello,
Welcome to Women Winning with Money.
I'm your host for today, Dr. Lola Odeyale Ayefashida, and I have with me my wonderful colleagues, Jimmy, Funky, and Timmy. And what we're talking about today, I am so excited about it because it is something that touches every single one of us. Life is full of surprises. Some can be good, some not so pleasant. But the truth of the matter is, how prepared are you financially? You see, from medical emergencies to loss of jobs, sometimes we wonder what do we do when those things happen. And that's where insurance comes in. Insurance, people think is complicated, some think it's so expensive, some think it's only for the wealthy. But the truth of the matter is, it is something that everybody needs to put in place, the smartest tool for financial protection and peace of mind. And today, we are going to be unpacking everything about insurance. And my first question will be going to Jimmy. Jimmy, why do so many women delay getting insurance? And what myths and fears do you think hold us back?
Thank you very much for that question, Dr. Lola. I think that a lot of the holding back applies to everybody, not just women, even though women usually are slower to respond to something they don't understand. So sometimes the lack of knowledge about insurance is a reason why people pull back. And they do not take the step to acquire that knowledge because they don't have time. They're too busy working, taking care of the family, trying to balance life and work. Now, one of the things that contributes also to this distrust of insurance is, well, the word has been used already, distrust. Many people don't trust insurance companies. For some people who have had reason to claim from insurance companies before, you gave them your premiums when it was time for them to pay you. You now suddenly discover that you have to fill a lot of paperwork, and then you begin to see the fine print. I have a sister who insured her farm, her fish farm, and the fish on the farm was maliciously poisoned by someone, and so she tried to claim because she had a loss. And then she found out that somewhere inside their fine print was that if what happened was caused by somebody else deliberately, she would not be able to recover. And that was how she was unable to recover from that loss. So from that experience, when you say insurance, her response will be Nimu. It doesn't even matter what type of insurance it is, because she just feels that insurance companies will look for an excuse to avoid payment, which is not necessarily true. So that is one of bad experiences from yourself, from your neighbor, from your relatives, would make you naturally want to shy away from insurance. Another thing is, a myth that is around it is, why are you thinking about negative things? You think about insurance cover, you must be considering a type of loss. Now you know what you think about, you bring about. So why are you thinking about loss? Why are you thinking about death? Why are you thinking about accidents? So a lot of people, because of our religious bias and the things we hold on to, we think that avoiding thinking about loss will make sure that loss does not happen. However, there's some kinds of loss that whether you think about it or you don't think about it, it would happen. Everybody will die on one day. So whether you think about life insurance or you don't think about it, it would happen. So why not just prepare for it? So those are part of the things. And then another thing is, not greed, but you feel like that money, you cannot explain where it is going. And you're spending money you cannot see. A Yoruba proverb says, oh, but you keep paying an insurance company and praying that loss will not happen. So you give them money and you pray against why you will collect your money from them. It's just like throwing money away to many people. However, if loss were to happen, if you were to fall sick without health insurance, if you were to have an accident, let's not even say the car is stolen totally. If you were to have an accident at a time when you cannot afford to repair your car, what would happen if you don't plan for it? So these are the reasons many people shy away from insurance. But of course, they are not reasons that are big enough to stop you from preparing for the rain that will fall, whether you prepare for it or not.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. The truth of the matter is, we need to prepare for insurance in spite of all the fears and the myths that we have. Okay, so I'm going to ask this question to Tammy. Having seen some myths that Jimmy has explained, what types of insurance should every woman consider? And how do we choose what's right for our stage of life?
All right. That's a very important question. Honestly, every insurance is right for every woman. As a woman, you need every insurance. Is it health? Is it what's it called? Life assurance, accidents,
Mm.
fire and safety. You need to insure your business. Some people insure their gadgets. All
Mm.
of this you need them. For example, Jimmy gives a lot of examples, so I'm going to give a different one. All right, so I have a friend who happened to she has a business, a bakery business, and one day she just something happened in her apartment, and then everything caught fire,
Mm.
curtains and all of that, and she lost everything because she did not have insurance. But right now she has started paying as low as I think 5,000 naira, and everything is insured. So if
Mm.
anything happens now, she can be rest assured that if the documentation, if she did it well. And one thing is, as a woman, please read every document before you sign anything. And when you're signing up for insurance, make sure you read everything, ask questions, so that at the end of the day, if that clause
Is there?
is there,
Mm.
you'll be able to ask questions and ask and know what to do. All right. So health insurance is very important as a woman. We work hard, we do everything. Most of us don't take care of our health. And you can't say that you work for a year, you may not, visit the hospital. What about checkup?
Yeah.
If you have health insurance, you can just go for checkup
Mm.
every year. You need to check yourself as a woman, as a man. But then we are talking about how women can win with money. So you have to go for insurance, do your full body check, your medical checkup, even if you don't fall sick. And so for I always say this, for health insurance, you will always get value for the money.
Yeah.
For everything you may say that for overall you go follow you, but for health insurance you can go and have your health check even if you are not sick. So this is very important. We work hard, we eat junks, we do all
Mm.
of those
Mm.
things. We need to take care of ourselves. Now, life insurance is very important. When you have a life assurance, you will be rest assured that if anything happens, we don't pray anything happen, but if anything happens, your dependents are covered. And also you need to think about, okay, so to answer the question, how do you know the insurance that is good for you at every stage? For life assurance, I can't say once you start having children, you start raising the family, you need the life assurance. Once you start having assets, you need to insure your assets.
Yeah.
If you have a car, you need to insure your car. I remember one day I had an accident. I was using a Sienna. It was like how many, maybe 10 years ago. I think it was like 10 years ago. I had an accident. I did all this small insurance, and then the car was right off. In fact, at the scene of the accident, people were asking me, "Are you sure you were the one that drove this
Mm.
car? Like, would you, how come you came out of this car unscratched?" But then I was safe, I was okay, but my
Mm.
car was damaged. And my office at that time was very far to my house. So I had to buy another car immediately. I could not even fix the car. Up to date, I was not able to fix the car. If I had insurance, I would have been able to, I will have something to fall back on. And so immediately I bought the car, I had an insurance, and I had an accident. I was parking beside the road one day, and a truck just ran into me, my car. And I got, I got my car fixed in less than 1 week without without having to step out of my comfort zone. And before I knew it, my car was back. And so it is important as a woman or as anybody to have insurance. If you are a living soul, get an insurance. That's what I would
Thank you
say.
so much, Temi. We can hear from what Temi has said now, that we need insurance at every stage of our life. You don't have to wait till you're old. Once you start raising a family, have a life assurance. Once you start having assets, please ensure that you go into insurance. And of course, you heard from Jimmy. It's not something that is so difficult to do, and it's not something that is expensive. You just little drops of water, and then you are able to protect your finances. Okay, so my last question is going to go to Funky. Can you share a moment where insurance made a real difference, or if the lack of it, caused financial stress or serious stress?
Okay, so I'm going to refer to, I think stories from childhood sticks
Hmm.
more. When I was a child, I can remember there was this neighbor of hers when teachers were buying Opel. I can't remember how many years ago. I think maybe government gave them loan or something, and all the teachers were getting Opel. That was the first time I was hearing of that car. Tear leather. And so this woman came, she celebrated with us, brought drinks, biscuit, and we celebrated the car. Then she traveled that weekend and she had an accident. Luckily, God saved her, but the car was right off. But you know, the happiness I had then when I saw the new car was really devastated. Like, how could this has happened to mommy, whatever then? But guess what? In less than 3 months, this woman got a new car, and I was wondering, teacher, how? Then that was the first time I was really hearing about car insurance. So please, it's very important we do it. And nowadays, we are used to all those fake third-party car insurance that doesn't exist. If anything happens to you, all because you just want to show police your car insurance, you go and do fake car insurance. If anything happens to your car or the third party, you don't get anything. So why don't you just pay extra, a bit extra, and get value for your money? About health insurance, I want to talk about this. In a space of about 2 months, I spent almost 200,000 treating people that I don't really know, maybe neighbors and co. That I noticed that they were sick and they couldn't afford good health care. And I told myself, if I've spent almost 200 on just one visit for two people, how much do I need for health insurance? So I spoke with the health insurance person, and I found out with 50,000 naira, I will put them on health insurance for 1 year. So during my birthday, I decided I'm going to enroll people in health insurance, and that will save me a lot.
Yeah.
So for you also, why don't you consider health insurance? And you find out that rather than spending so much when you go to the hospital, with maybe about 5K premium per month, you are fine. And it covers surgeries, it covers a lot. And the third example I'm going to cite, I used to have a store, and there was this guy that just came into the complex. He had a spa before spa became very popular, and you know, all sort of gadgets and everything shining. And the next door neighbor was a woman that sells fabric, expensive laces. Less than 2 weeks when this spa started operation, there was a fire incident. And guess what? Those two shops went down. Unfortunately for the woman that sells fabrics, she doesn't have insurance. Now, the guy that has the spa has an insurance, and I was told he just signed not too long.
Wow.
He just completed the process. In fact, some people were saying that maybe he moved some of his property out and he set that place on fire to get the money. The guy got paid. But unfortunately, the woman selling fabrics didn't get anything because she doesn't have an insurance. So when we look at it very well, it is good to have insurance. In fact, there are some insurance premium that they will tell you if there is no any casualty, you get part of your premium back. So there are a lot of products outside there that you can consider. So don't think it's negative, negative, negative. There are a lot of good parts to it. And most times, when it actually happens, you find out that you're going to gain more than what you are putting aside. So I'm going to encourage you, please consider insurance. They are good. Very, very good.
Thank you so much. I know that this conversation has been very, very insightful. Sincerely, the topic insurance is something that everyone should get. And we women winning with money, we are here to guide you. We are here to enlighten you. We're here to help you. Insurance is not about the policies or the paperwork. It's actually about protecting your finances and having peace of mind. Imagine you having access to the hospital without you even paying. I remember, I went somewhere and they said, "Oh, my net." I said, "No, insurance has covered it." And I walked out feeling very, very good with myself. So we're encouraging everyone, please get an insurance. And if you need more information, if you need to know how to go about it, please reach out to us. Contact us on all our social media handle, Women Winning with Money. Like, share, comment, and we look forward to seeing you at our next podcast. Bye.
Bye.